Well, here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled it. To 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. Jameis now on first down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball. Well, when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
To throw is Winston. Little short pass here to Hill, and he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. Fourth down, Winston. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Tua now on first down. Outright caught by Chosen. Touchdown! Robbie Chosen. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from going up by 30. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. They set themselves behind the chains, trying to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
After the turnover, it's Tua. That's into the hands of Chosen. And he'll be out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you want to give him a little extra for the effort. But instead, he sets his guys up in excellent shape for a 1st and goal.
Extra bulk up front for 2nd and inches. 3 tight end, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Dolphins get another third quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this third quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one. I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for two in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, it's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out.
And oh, my goodness, here's a fifth interception. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Well, that is now his fifth interception thrown in this game. And, Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights in just 4 quarters? I think that's what we're seeing from this group.
Now Tua going to try and sneak it. And he is over the line for another rushing touchdown.
Is he a quarterback or is he a tailback?
The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Dolphins are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Tua going to try and throw for it. And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion no good. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked out officially at the 21. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. But we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
Back now here live in New Orleans. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to let it go again. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. On first down, Tagovailoa escaping to a hit, and the ball is out on one of the linebackers. Akers has got it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
You and I have been around teams, and they all have goals for games, don't they? And every team we've ever talked to says what?
No turnover.
Don't turn the ball over. 0. And they were that close to getting it done. Won't cost them today, but they'll hate that when they're watching the game tape.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Play action now. Winston. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Flushed out right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of
Fame. Poor decision there, and it's going to be intercepted. And the Saints are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Following the interception, Winston. He completes it to Olave. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Now the big play pushes him all the way out to the 40 now for 1st down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really, it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win.
And Winston lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Winston. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Taysom Hill, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Well, he's regarded as one of the best athletes among NFL tight ends, Charles, and it certainly was on display right there.
And as we've seen this league continue to grow and develop, I think the tight end position is becoming harder and harder to defend because now it's elite athletes playing that position, not just the big guys who can block. How about his ability to get downfield and make plays against any defense?
And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. In motion, Hill. Up the middle they go with Mostert. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. A short throw there. That's to Smythe, the tight end. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Now Tua. And going deep for Hill. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And that one goes virtually nowhere. Tried to fake extra point, but nothing comes of it.
Well, I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number 1, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number 2, if you are going to go for 2, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
3rd and 4. Now Winston. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. This offense has gone for it 5 times already. They're now going to go for a 6th 4th down try. Winston. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. That one looks like he'll throw here. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Well, big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but, Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Sanders on for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, without lopsided.
And now here is another interception. Now he's free to midfield. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. Looking to pass. Tua. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Tua going to throw. And Tua going to slide to a halt, but he will have the first down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. On play action, here's Tua. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise or throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense can crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice.
Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. But just a lot going on there in the middle of the field, and this one winds up a turnover.
Yeah, they're running a crossing route here, and the idea of it is to get defenders confused about who to go with. But if you throw it too early, sometimes it's your quarterback that gets confused, and here he throws it into coverage and gets it intercepted.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Downfield, and he's got Olave. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ballgame.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
Well, the lopsided affair finally coming to an end, and really no shortage of big plays for us to examine, partner, on offense or on defense for this team. They were so well-rounded in this one.
They certainly were, and how about the day those defenders had, though? How many takeaways did they have?